Speed limits in Australia have been decreasing year on year, it feels like. Everywhere you go, just about, the speeds continually get slower, yet the cars are meant to be safer. And for whatever reason, we keep going along with this narrative of, yes, daddy government, slow us down some more. We want to pay some fines in case we got to overtake somebody. 6 Ks an hour over the limit, hit me hard. And yes, Western Australia, sadly, as I live in this state, well, they're effectively doing an Australian first safety trial where they're basically throwing a blanket over an area and they are hammering the speed limits down. I'm talking 110 zones down to 70. We're talking, 80 to 70 zones down to 60. Hey, you want to go 50? It's 40. And it just keeps going on and on. This is really madness. And again, I just want to explain this to you guys because once it happens in one place, you know what happens again. It starts to go to another place and another place. And next thing you know, the entire country is doing 50 Ks an hour on freeways because too many numpties don't know how to drive. And I'm not joking. So we're on thedrive.com.au. This story first came out in November of last year. I did mention this when it first came out, but speed limit drop proposed for Australia's largest state. Lower speed limits on around 1,800 roads in Western Australia have been proposed in an effort to reduce road toll. Now, again, it's a crock of shit. People just they're not getting trained, they're not getting educated on how to actually drive. Nobody seems to drive to conditions anymore. And in my honest God truth, I seriously feel like the slower the speed, the more dangerous. Because a competent driver like me, I'm not hanging back behind some city slicker doing 20 Ks under the limit. I'm gonna get around him. And that's when inexperience can be deadly. Somebody trying to get around somebody and they do it in the wrong place. So here's what's being proposed. 80 to 110 kilometers per hour zones will be reduced to 70 or 80 kilometers per hour. And in these zones that are between 70 and 100, they're thinking of lowering it to 60. So it actually could be 100 and then they drop it to 60. This really doesn't make any sense. Urban and town center limits are going to be reduced by 10 kilometers. So again, 50 zones are going to be down to 40. And yeah, these are just, telling you about some studies and again, just a bunch of pencil pushers trying to justify jobs. That's all this to me is. Now, where this was actually going to take place was way down here in the Busselton sort of Margaret River area. So southwest in Western Australia, the very bottom left here. Beautiful country, lots of tourists. And again, that's sort of their logic here. All these tourists going down into the country, smashing into everyone, I guess. Bumper cars, you know what it is. Now, sorry guys, I've got to stop this video just for 1 second because WiperTech have sponsored this video. These guys are legends in the game of mighty wiper blades, and yeah, these are the best ones you can get. Use my code ROSS15 off. You're gonna get yourself 15% off, and you're gonna score free express shipping straight to your door, man. And again, I use these on my cars. They are the best. 5-star reviews. Get yourself some and support the channel. Now, just on the ABC News website here, again, this reads, Australian first road safety trial on shaky ground after WA Council raises objections. So the good people of Busselton, you good mother, they actually have said, we don't think this is a good idea. So I got to give them full credit because they had the majority of the roads, and essentially this guy right here, this legend, what is his name? Phil Cronin says the council rejected a whole of an area approach, so the whole area blanket speeds. No, they said that just seems stupid. We're just going to hand select. I believe they picked out 15 roads. So they picked sort of the worst 15 roads to have speed reductions. And to me, 15 is a hell of a lot better than the 1,200 or so they were trying to do. Now, this sad sack right here, Teresa Censaric, we had her in a video before, and she was one of the numpties who was legitimately trying to push all these woke, stupid-ass policies. And, of course, she has to be in the ABC again, giving her 2 cents. And I really don't even know what this lady does, to be honest. Seriously. Just a professional Karen by the look of it. So she was disappointed. So, it's a bit disappointing. And she says, from a road safety perspective, of course, I would value saving the lives and the lifelong injuries over small amounts of time. Let me tell you guys, if you've never been to WA, it is a big state. And I was in Busselton last weekend. I went dirt biking with a mate, had a blast, and was one of the best places to ride. Legitimately, I want to go every week, but it is so far, it's just not practical. Like, it is almost a 3-hour trip. I believe it took us over 2.5 hours, and, we were moving a bit quicker than usual. So, again, how is this going to affect tourism? How is that going to affect all the local businesses in Margaret River and Busselton? People are not going to want to be slowed down, and especially during peak times. There's just going to be traffic jams. I've always thought the whole speed argument is really flawed. And it almost reminds me of what happened during COVID, when basically anyone who died with COVID, or whoever had COVID, it seems, was marked down as they died because of COVID, when really they got hit by a train. They jumped off a building. Like, they were claiming people died from COVID who legitimately just died of natural causes, or, something really ludicrous. And, he technically had COVID, so we'll mark him down. Mate, it's like the speed thing. Well, they could have been speeding, so we'll just mark it down as speeding was the major cause. And when you drive around Australia, let's be real. You be real. You guys over there be real as well. Australians drive actually incredibly slow. If you actually travel internationally, you visit some other places in the world, Australians drive incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. And it's because we have such extremely strict police. You get a ticket for like 6 kilometers over the speed limit on a 100K road. You're not even doing 10%. You're literally 6% over, bang, ticket, and these tickets ain't cheap. So, yeah, we're not really that risky when it comes to speeding, in my personal opinion. What we really lack in this country is just proper training and real-world management in terms of driving, because you got a lot of tailgating, you got a lot of people who literally don't know what they're doing. They can't back up, they can't park their car properly. Like, they legitimately don't know how to operate half the features on their damn car. You know what I mean? We are seriously getting into a generation here now where the government is trying to push you into these electric vehicles that essentially try and drive themselves, and we just sit in there and, we don't know what the hell we're doing. And that is where the real danger comes. You're out in country, because country people, they do know how to drive. They grew up out there. They do a lot of Ks, and the city slickers, they're the ones that they're dodgy. They are. But that is what's happening. And again, I know this is a story specific for Western Australia, but please don't take it with a grain of sand. We are on the other side of the country. We're far away from the majority of Aussies. But just again, look at Melbourne. They've already done something similar in a few isolated areas, and this goes through. They like what they see. I tell you what, it's going to be happening all over East. It is guaranteed. So please, let's continue to tell our people who are in charge that this is not the answer. Better driver training is the answer. Honestly, it is. It's all education. Driver education and just drive to conditions. But again, leave your 2 cents down below. Subscribe if you're new here. And we'll see you guys on that next video.